Once you move out, don't go back. What's the vibe, guys? This is Mr. Valid, and today we're back at it again with some Lad Bible Storytime reactions. Last time we had Rosie, which was not an easy video to watch. So if you haven't watched it and you have tough skin, go watch it. Today we have this story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Now, let's listen.
Waking up to a lot of commotion. When I got up and looked, I seen about, say, 4 to 5 gunmen, all had balaclavas on. So I remember getting up after hearing a commotion, seeing what I seen, and instantly started running. As I run out of the building, man's been shot. So the early years, it was good, man. It was them days where playing out was cool, you know what I mean? Aki tracky, beat the letter, you know what I mean? Kirby, football on the roads. I was a child with ADHD, so I had a lot of energy, and I felt like it was just finding where to put that energy was the hard thing growing up. I grew up in an area called Erdington, which is in Birmingham, right by Spaghetti Junction, and that area there is multicultural, and it was a tight neighborhood. This is what I remember. You remember the days you could leave your door open, and then your neighbor come round like, "Yo, I've just come round for some sugar."
Mm-mm. What was that? Leave your door open. No, I'm keeping it closed. No, 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 no. Yes, we're good with the neighbors, but I don't trust you that much. Not at all. I'm keeping my doors closed and locked. Doors, windows, everything. We're cool, but we're not cool like that. Even if we're cool like that, I'm keeping my doors closed.
Whatever it is, and they're like, "Yeah," and have a chat with your mum and whatnot. So the negatives, I would say, it's very easy to be small-minded and not look at the bigger picture just from coming from Birmingham. I feel like not a lot of people in Birmingham leave Birmingham. So it's not until you either travel or you have a job outside of where you live is when you start noticing these things, which is crazy things, man.
So the people in the UK right now, because I'm not in the UK, I'm in Canada. Is Birmingham, is it that bad? Like I forgot what he said, where he's from, Edinburgh, not Edinburgh, but like he said a specific town. Is it that bad over there? Let me know down in the comments.
And what was your family unit like then?
So it was my family unit was dope still. When I was born, I always had my grandfather in the house. Lived with my mum and lived with my brother and lived with my grandfather. So as from the first day I can remember, I remember my granddad being in the house. So you know what's mad as well? I still live by very certain old morals. And like, a lot of my mates don't get it, but I always believe it's because the father figure around my house was my granddad. So a lot of things that I was taught just becoming into a man or whatever it is in life was taught from my granddad. My house as well. My mum always worked as well. Always working. She did care work, so she'd do a 9 till 9. So my friend's mum would walk me to school on certain days, and family was always into music. So dad did soca and calypso. I had uncles that did soca and calypso. My brother did. He used to play out music, so we had a big set which was in the house. So loud music and bass line was a thing that was in the family from a young age, man.
Was there anything that you sort of witnessed? Were there any situations that you remember that shaped you?
Well, you know what's crazy? Growing up, I lived on a road where you witness fights. It's normal to see straighteners. Coming from where I'm coming from, you handle your business by having a straightener and you shake your hands after it. So that was normal to see. You know what's mad? There's a lot of, come from the area as well. What's negative? Like, everyone loves cars from early and bikes. So if you ain't got the money to obtain that, it's kind of normal in your normal nature to kind of rob cars or rob bikes and joyride. And
Until you rob the wrong person. You could get away with robbing, right? Could be a bike, car, but there's always this one person that won't go down without a fight. And if you ain't got no weapon, if he has a pokey or a gun, bro, that's GG's.
like, we're mad as a youth. You take someone's car, not even care who's driving it or whatnot, and just drive it and joyride with the lads and whatnot. So
It's kind of like the Kia Boys. Have you guys heard about the Kia Boys? I remember Tommy G. He's a YouTuber slash journalist. Made a documentary about it. Y'all should check it out too, if you haven't. But it's similar to that.
I seen things that was so naughty, which I thought naughty. I thought I was a naughty kid, but then when you start going to them places, you start experiencing some serious stuff, some serious kids that your naughtiness is not even you know what I mean, no level to what it is.
Would you say there was gang violence as well in your area?
100%. Birmingham's a place where there's two sides, like Crips and Bloods. One's called Johnny's, one's called Burger Bars.
Same where I grew up. I was lucky enough to leave at the right time, but I lived in Scarborough, and around that time, over there is the Crips and Bloods, and I was still small at the time. And when I was a kid, I didn't really understand what I was seeing. It was only after moving out, growing up, and learning that I understood, like, wow, that wasn't normal. Seeing someone laid out on the floor with a tarp, a white sheet covering the whole body, with the hand sticking out, that's not normal. I thought he was sleeping. That's what I thought when I was a kid. But when I grew up and I left that area, that's when I understand that no, he got shot, and sadly, he didn't make it because he was covered all the way. It's these type of situations where you really think like, you know, certain areas aren't meant for kids to grow up. But understand not everyone is privileged to just move out. Which is why I don't understand those that were born in the suburbs, that want to be hood, thinking that's cool. Bro, trust me, man, like, that's not cool, man. Having a curfew, you need to be home before the light turns on. You cannot wear certain colors. One day you're cool with the person, the next you don't see him again. Either he passed away or is in jail. The hood, trust me guys, that's not the place that you would want to live. Once you move out, don't go back. Because I've known people that moved out but came back just to visit some friends, and these friends were jealous, and sadly, they didn't go back home. Their body stayed there. If you leave the hood, leave it for good.
Still up to this day, there's obviously younger generations have changed their names and whatnot, but it's still the same two sides probably fighting over things they don't even know. 2011, mad year for me still. It all starts with me getting a call from my brother saying my dad's passed away, cardiac arrest. Dad did music as well, so
My condolences, Mr. Mist.
every weekend he played the electric guitar, he'd go to a pub or whatever hall, you know what I mean, and go and play for entertainment. And he came off stage and actually passed away. 2 years before that, my mom collapsed, had a stroke. So she was in like a rehabilitation place. So it was crazy. My dad passed away while my mum was still in his place. 3 months later, my mum passes away from heart problems as well. Obviously, she was ill before that, but it was just 3 months of straight tragicness. And it's mad because it was like it just hit me into a mode of where now I've got no more parents. No one can tell me what to do or how to do it, because I felt like whoever could tell me before was gone. So from there, after I was staying at my mum's house on myself, which was, I was 19 years old in a 3-bedroom yard, which I stayed in. I was a mummy's boy, so I never really did much. My mum cooked, she did everything. She taught me a few things in life, but I was a mum's boy, she used to do a lot for me. So I was in that 3-bedroom yard for ages, just living a, wouldn't say bachelor life, but just getting through. I think about 7 more months later, being 19, I didn't have a clue about mortgage, whatever bills needed to get paid. My house got repossessed. I came back from going out, tried to get my key in the door, it wouldn't go in. Note on the door saying, your house has been repossessed. It was crazy, and you know, before we get into 2012, that same year, in February, so 3 months before my dad passed, I had a child, which was my daughter, my firstborn. I was 19 years of age. So I had my daughter, dad passed, mum passed, house repossessed. After everyone passed away, I started driving with no license, and it was like no one could tell me anything.
That's why it's important to respect your parents and guardians. Because look how the amount of people that sadly don't have that. You're in your home complaining, oh, your parents did this, your parents did that, or you can't hang out with your friends, my parents don't understand. But sometimes They're saying this to save you. You say, oh, you don't like your parents. Imagine how many people out there that would wish to have their parents back. You gotta be grateful in life, man. You gotta be grateful.
Even down to all my brothers who I used to go and see, aunties, uncles. I'd pull up to a family union or whatever it is, and they'd be like, "Yo, you driving? You ain't passed yet." I'm like, "Don't worry, man. I'll pass soon or whatever." Ended up getting pulled. I think first time I got 3 points, second time 3 points, or 6 points, and then 6 points again. I got 12, and I was banned. So I only was banned, but I just didn't care. I just kept buying cars, cheap little runarounds, go and get 500 quid, buy a little Golf, get me through. And it was mad. Like, I was just basically living out my car. No one ever knew. I'd say bye to the lads and just go and find a nice little parking spot to go and crank off. And then, obviously, me driving on a ban, one day, old Bills tried to pull me again. That day, I don't know what went through me, but I just weren't having it. Ended up getting into one of the maddest police chases. 2 helicopters, squeezing through.
Once the birds are out and are shining you with the light, just pull over, man. You're not escaping. It's GG's, man. Like you're not escaping.
Ballards, doing everything. Bare helicopters out, 45-minute chase. Getting away from the chase, having to get out on foot where helicopters ended up finding me in a bush. From that moment there, I went from the bush to court to prison. The judge said, nah, you're taking the piss. There's no way. We've banned you 3 times and you're still driving. So he ended up sending me to prison. This was in 2014. So I've had about 3 years now of hardship, would you say, you know what I'm trying to say?
How long did you serve then?
I think my first sentence for what I did for driving was 14 months.
What was prison like?
Prison for me it wasn't like what it was like on the movies. I don't know, if you've never been in prison, you have a little mad outlook of what prison's gonna be like, or, you know what I mean? Is it like the movies? If you drop the soap, a man gonna be on to you? Well, obviously, it's not like that, bro. It's like, I wouldn't call it a summer camp because it's not a place to be, but it's just a place of people with like-minded people all stuffed into one place. So you end up meeting people, and obviously there's a negative and positive about prison as well, because the negative side of it, you can keep going after you go to prison once. And the positive of it, you can learn that this is not the life for you. And I feel like that prison sentence for me was the one that made me. Because what I did, I started writing bars. Anytime a certain tune came on the radio, a certain beat I liked, I'd start writing bars. I took up some business course, a maths course. I remember doing a resettlement, that's exactly what it was called, resettlement course. So before leaving prison, you have to do a resettlement course. First question on that was, who am I? It's a spider diagram. Who am I? Before you get to start writing, the woman goes, listen, before anyone starts writing, I'm a dad, I'm a brother, I'm a uncle. You can't write that. I want to actually know who you are. End up peeping to see, like, oh, I couldn't write anything. I'm thinking, yo, who am I? You know what I mean? What trade have I got? What can I actually put? I remember peeping like that, looking at the geezer next to me. He couldn't write nothing. Like, I didn't know actually what to do. And obviously the woman ended up saying, you know what? You can write if you were a brother or uncle or whatever it is, a sibling. And everyone started writing, but it was crazy. It was a deep one. When I went back to my cell that night, I thought, how could I not answer, who am I? And I think from that day on, the penny dropped.
It's a hard question if you really think about it. Can you guys answer that question? Write it in the comment section below. Who are you? I'm curious what you guys are gonna write. Who are you?
That was the question that I'd now had to answer, and that was the chase. Is that who am I? And do you explain who you are by chasing a trade or living for a certain purpose? I had to start living for a purpose. I had a daughter at the time who, like, her mom was asking me for dough. I didn't know where I was gonna get that dough from. Coming out of prison, I just kind of have a drive to become something or someone and have some sort of mission in life and a purpose even. It was crazy. I was writing the bars that I've written down in prison. I was in my hostel. I was in a hostel at the stage. So I was writing some bars.
Was that when you first started writing then?
Nah, because I felt like, as I said, I was always family orientated, was always in music. So I would do things, make my own tapes. You know, like when the garage crews were on the radio at that stage, the garage crew, I'd get my mom's tapes, like, yo, I gotta record over this. This set was called. And then there was a bit of a grime scene in Birmingham where you could go to and just drop some bars for some wheel-ups. So there was always a love for music. So I feel like that's why when I need it, I always feel like music's my counselling as well. I feel like when I started writing, it was just my counselling. It was for me.
Music is very important. It's a way to tell your story. You can do a lot with music. I'm happy Mr. Mist found that.
For me to start writing about things that I felt like no one else has touched on. Losing my mum and dad within 3 months, carrying coffins, not actually saying goodbye to someone where someone's giving you a chance to so much things in life lessons that I learned that, you know what I mean, that I have to grow up as well. And I feel like that's how I do it, man. That's what's kept me sane, turning my pain into strength. It kind of gives you a purpose, you know what I mean? Not everyone gets the chance to let thousands or hundreds of thousands to hear what you've got to say or to hear your story. So I feel like it's brought me to places in life I never expect I'd ever visit in my life. I feel like doing shows was one thing, but when you do shows abroad or at a club, for instance, sometimes they have another artist there or there's 3 artists on at that night. That's me coming up anyway, there'd be 3 or 4 artists on. When I actually done my tour, my own personal one, first one, MIS to the T tour, and went out, started singing certain songs and hearing fans sing back what I've put my heart and my soul into, blood, sweat and tears, and gone through a madness to even speak about it, sing it back to me. Actually, the penny dropped. Like, you know what, I'm actually filling out these rooms with everyone and they've come to see me.
Did that drive you on as well?
Give me the biggest drive because you actually can see it. There's one thing knowing you're getting 100K views or 1 million views, but seeing thousands of people in one room singing your songs back to you, it's immense.
Obviously, there was Portugal as well. What was the background on that?
I remember being in an Airbnb one night. Obviously, because it's been Afro Nation, it's been a long few days. So everyone was crashed out. We've been partying. Me and about, let's say, 8 lads in the gaff. Just having a little chill out. I remember waking up to a lot of commotion. When I got up and looked, I seen about, say, 4 to 5 gunmen. All had balaclavas on, all had silencers. This is what was crazy. It was like a movie.
Who exposed the location? Guys, I have to leave now, but there will be a part 2 for this. This is Mr. Valid, and I'm out.